So if you want to hear any lore in particular, make sure you join the Discord. There's a link in the description below. Join the Discord. Once a week I ask a question. First person to get the question right picks this week's lore. And this week's lore is on Allistair Tenpenny and Tenpenny Tower. Now this is quite literally what is on the wiki. Like, I get all of my lore off of fallout.fandom.com. Allistair Tenpenny spends most of his day on the balcony shooting at what he calls the Wasteland Safari. Sometimes he's visited by Mr. Burke. Sometimes Susan Lancaster comes and visits him as well. That's literally it for his background. Nothing about him being from England. Nothing about what he did. Nothing about, nothing. That is it. And I know we shit on Fallout 3 for not having the most well-developed characters. But this is sick. And not good sick. Not like, hey, hit a 540, hey, sick. This is bad. Like, this is not good. That's it. Like, it's not even a full page of my notes. Like, I'm upset about this. I don't ever read a character schedule because a lot of the times it's like, you can find the character in this hall, and then maybe you can find them out by the front gate. And if you're lucky, bow, and they talk to this person, and that's it. But I wrote down his schedule because there was so little. He never leaves his penthouse, even though he states that he has a seat reserved at Margaret Penrose's cafe. And every day he orders from the cafe to his room one guanabit sandwich, no salt, and a peeled pear. Where are they getting pears from? I kind of know why. I'll talk about it a little bit later. It's one of the few places in the Wasteland, Tenpenny Tower, to have fresh water and electricity from the metro, which I'll get into a bit later. But I could see them growing fruit. I'll give them the pass on that one. There's actually more, I feel there's more in the tower about Tenpenny than in Tenpenny's own article on the wiki. I'm not here to complain about the wiki, though. If Tenpenny is to be killed, his head guard Gustavo is to take over running Tenpenny Tower. Now, if you do you gotta shoot him in the head quest, which is arguably one of the best quests in Fallout 3. It's fun, it makes you travel, it's indicative of old zombie flicks. Even Crowley says that to you. He's someone I'd love to do lore on. The people of Rivet City will talk about it, but only if you shoot him in the head. There's a couple quests that involve Tenpenny, the Power of Atom, where you can have the option to blow up Megaton. You got to shoot him in the head from Crowley, like I was saying prior. Tenpenny Tower, the quest line where you can give power. Well, hold on. You can allow the ghouls to enter peacefully. Very upset by the end of that quest the first time I ever did it, 5 years ago. There's a video where you just put a bomb. The guy puts a bomb in Roy Phelps's. He gives him the Shady Sand Shuffle and puts a bomb in his pocket. And I just always did that. I don't know why. Just because I saw it in the video. So I never did the quest line. So I finally did the quest line. No matter what you do, they take over. And it's gruesome. You do get that sweet mask. There's also a hidden quest, an unmarked quest called Slave Hunt, where you find out that May Wong was originally owned by Tenpenny. He is one of only 9 named characters in the base game to have very evil karma. So behind the scenes in Fallout 3's afterthought feature, Emil Pagliarulo, I always say it wrong, I'm sorry, Emil, mentions Allistair Tenpenny in that he traveled to the capital wasteland from Great Britain in order to seek his fortune. Emil states that by mentioning small details about the state of the rest of the world, characters like Tenpenny can serve as a catalyst for the player's imagination. But that is then hit with a non-canon little briefing, John. The exact quote is, Allistair Tenpenny came to the capital wasteland from Great Britain to seek his fortune, so that alone tells you that the UK was also hit in the war. If he came to the US to secede, that says a lot about how screwed up Europe must be. So we just allude a little bit to the state of the rest of the world. We like to leave a lot of the player's imagination, and somebody like Tenpenny serves as a catalyst for those thoughts. I don't think that's lazy. I don't. I want to know more, but I get why they wouldn't talk about it more. I don't think that's lazy at all, actually. I think that's actually... Now for Tenpenny's Tower. The tower was a resort pre-war. There's a now ghoul whose name was Michael Masters used to vacation at this resort prior to the Great War. And he was a pretty known, I guess famous is the word I'm looking for, but I don't feel like it's right. He was a scientist who was well known pre-war, and said that people came to this tower, to this resort. These were all well-to-do people. These are people with money. Like, these are people with disposable incomes, upon disposable incomes, that like their kids don't have to work. By 2277, Tenpenny has total control over the tower and only lets in the most well-to-do people. Tenpenny claims that as soon as he saw the tower on the horizon, he knew exactly what he had to do with it. So he hires a bunch of people to fix it. They fix it as fast as they can, and these people later became his security. It's not said directly, but it's somewhat alluded to on the wiki and in my notes, that it was Gustavo and Mr. Burke who were in charge of this and helped out with this, and later became people that have the positions that they have now. Like I said prior, the water in the tower, I'm not exactly sure how they're getting it. I guess they still have pump systems. It is more of a city where I'm from originally. There was well pumps, and well pumps are, say, 100, 2, 3. The deepest I've ever seen was 1,000 feet down, and it pulls water out of the ground. If they have something like that, and they have electricity, and their switches haven't gone. My dad was a plumber, if you can't tell. If they can make this work, the water is non-irradiated. It is kind of far out of a blast zone. There are ghouls not far by because of the metro station. But that same metro station that's there is the same grid, essentially, that they're on, that they're pulling power from. Growing up, I was near, not far from a huge gas station that was near like a major highway, and everyone around us would lose power except for us because we were lucky enough to be on that grid. So I would have friends with no power, and we'd have power. So just like in an apocalyptic scenario like this, the word of salvation travels, and it travels quick. So people flock to Tenpenny to try to get him. But Tenpenny, being the curmudgeon that he is, the old fuck, for lack of a better term, doesn't let anybody in unless they have the appropriate amount of caps, or they're this hoity-toity, well-to-do bourgeois people. Because of this, and because of Roy trying to get in, and Michael Masters being part of Roy's group, his clique, his affiliation, because of all this, and they want to get in, Gustavo has been put on the mission, or he took up the mission to take out the ghoul problem. And Mr. Burke, who everybody meets in Megaton, who introduces you to Tenpenny later on, if you choose, he says that he wants to take care of the eyesore that is Megaton. There's a couple things I want to talk about Tenpenny Tower real quick, like the interior. Again, all my lore off of the Fallout Wiki. On the interior, there is the Boutique La Chic, Café Beaumont, the Federalist Lounge. Tell me how my French is. Gustavo's Armory, New Urban Apparel, and the Wellness Center. I like these little, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I like these small little vignettes of life, like little stuff like that. Where the fuck did they learn French? Yeah, I know, they're well-to-do people. They could have been well-to-do people. They could have been people that weren't as well-to-do to become enclave people, but still well-to-do enough to the point where, like, you know, maybe some of this shit got passed down. Maybe there's a couple Dumas running around. Whatever. I don't know. Still, Bouvier's. Shout out to The Simpsons and Kennedy's wife. Herbert Daring Dashwood lives here. There's some cool stuff you can get here. There's a Lion Congressional style. There's a love letter. There's Tales of a Junktown Jerky vendor. There's Duck and Cover. There's a lot of fun stuff you can get here. You can get Tenpenny's suit, the ghoul mask. After completing Broken Steel, raiders outside of Tenpenny Tower will try to ambush the Brotherhood of Steel members transporting water. And they will respawn every 3 days. That's fun. Mr. Burke will live at Tenpenny Tower even after the ghouls move in if he has not been killed during the Power of Adam. That's awesome. Asking the gate to the building to be opened through the intercom and then fast traveling may cause the gate to stay open, eliminating the need to open it every time the town is visited. That's really funny because I remember more times of me having to open it than not, because it was weird that I had to come back and be like, yo, open the gate. This is one of the tallest buildings in Fallout 3, and the lobby also has its own unique music. It's possible to survive a jump from the side of the building if one uses VATS with a melee weapon on an enemy at the bottom. It'll teleport them to the ground and they will take no damage. That's super tight. The pool table in the Federalist Lounge is almost completely clean. In an interview with OneUp.com, Emil Paglarillo, I'm so sorry, dude. I'm not good with names, confirmed that Tenpenny Tower was slightly inspired by Fiddler's Green, the skyscraper in George Romero's Land of the Dead. In one of the hallways in the third floor suites, there is a tricycle, which is a reference to the infamous Come Play With Us scene from The Shining. Cool. The Shining, the hotel that the book was written about, is like 5 hours from me. That's about everything I have on Allistair Tenpenny and Tenpenny Tower. That is lore.